So they're going to have to sign Brady. Brady's value, Robert mentioned on Spot Track, is listed at 34.9. There's no way the Patriots sign him to that. I don't think the Patriots can afford to sign him at 30. If they can get him at 25, that'd be great. I don't think that's going to happen either. So that means the Patriots have to figure out some way to get one of these quarterbacks. And I think Marcus Mariota is the guy that they're going to get at a value.
Weren't they recently paying him like 15?
Who? Brady?
The Patriots, yeah.
Well, who knows what they actually paid him because they kept kicking the can on his signing bonus.
Is this where we're supposed to make more Patriots jokes? We called back the Patriots to make more cheating jokes, or?
Well, I think
absolutely.
But give them some credit. Give Robert Kraft some credit, Monty. He's an expert at paying things off the books.
I've heard that. Very talented.
Anyway, I've got a jersey waiting for Marcus Mariota if it is the end of the Brady era in New England. He'd be one of the guys. And I know what you're saying there with Tannehill, but I think this is a weird year for quarterbacks because it is literally the Joe Flacco scenario all over again. The Cowboys can't afford to pay Dak Prescott what they think he's worth because he's really not worth it. But at the same time, they don't have any other choice. And I think that's the same thing that's going on here with Tannehill and the Titans. They really can't afford to pay Ryan Tannehill what they think he's worth or what the market will dictate what he's worth, but they don't have any other choice. They have to pay him that much.
Yeah, quarterbacks are expensive, but I think as long as you make it into a team-friendly deal where you can get out of it in a year or two without owing $62 million or whatever the hell Matt Ryan cap hit works, like you'll make some money, sure. Quarterbacks are expensive, that's just the price of doing business, but they don't have to lock him in for 7 years. This can be smart about it.
So are you guys all sticking with your Texans? You still think the Texans win this game?
Well, yeah, the Raiders need the Texans to win to have a chance at the playoffs. Come on, that's why everyone took the Texans, right, Neil?
Raiders are sneaking into that 6th spot. Everything that could happen is likely to happen. Like, if you look at it, like, it's all like, it's the more likely situation is what needs to happen for the Raiders to get that 6.
This is the one game that I think is a toss-up, right? I think that the Titans are legit solid. They could probably beat the Texans, especially if they rest their players. But I think that Texans will win this game. Let's keep the Raiders alive. The one thing that won't happen is the Raiders beating the Broncos. That'll be what screws them.
Hold on.
The Raiders situation.
Who's Deshaun Watson's backup? Since we're talking about the Texans possibly resting players.
They're not going. They've already said they're looking to win.
Yeah, sure. But if the Chiefs win, they're stuck at 4. But if the Chiefs win, they're stuck at 4. They can't move up to 3.
Right. But if the Chiefs lose, they can. They're not going to. They're not going to play with.
The Chiefs aren't going to lose.
It's everybody's favorite backup quarterback, AJ McCarron.
Woo!
Oh God!
Terrible.
Oh man, I'm questioning my pick now. I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans pull this out somehow.
What was I about to look at? I don't remember. I don't think
you're going to do the Raiders scenario. They need a lot of help, but they still got to beat the Broncos.
The Raiders scenario is that Oakland needs to win, Pittsburgh needs to lose, Tennessee needs to lose, Indy needs to win, and Oakland will clinch the strength of victory tiebreaker over Pittsburgh.
Is Oakland the favorite in all 4 of those games? I think they are.
Well, let's find out. I have the point spreads listed on all of these games.
I think to Rob's point, it's all very plausible.
No. It
Pittsburgh,
is. This is
Pittsburgh is favored. Pittsburgh is favored to win against Baltimore this week because Baltimore is resting all of their starters.
Everybody.
With Duck Hodges, I don't know.
Tennessee is favored to win in this game against the Texans. In Indianapolis is our next game. They are favored to win, so that's in Oakland's favor. So let's move on to that next game. The Indianapolis Colts are 7-8. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 5-10. Colts 16th in the power rankings. Jaguars 26th. Colts favored by 3.5 in this particular game. It is the tale of two would-be promising quarterbacks. Jacoby Brissett has basically fallen off the mat ever since James said that he was a great quarterback. The James curse is real. The Gardner Minshew, still legend in Duval. He does lead all rookies in passer rating, 89.8, ranks second in passing yards, 2,976, and tied for second in touchdown passes with 18. Needs 24 passing yards to become the first rookie in franchise history to pass for 3,000 yards. I am taking the Jaguars, as is Neil, but James, Rob, and Monty are all going with the Colts. These are two teams that have a lot of problems.
Yeah, Jacksonville's problem is that no one wants to play there anymore. So
they got rid of the problem.
Well, they got rid of a problem.
Well, he's probably the problem, but they'll probably clean. I would imagine they clean house, right?
I would think
the
so.
Head coach is slated to come back.
Well, oh man, if they do, they're dumb.
Yeah, he's slated to come back from everything I've seen coming out of the weekend and throughout this week.
But doesn't that all depends on who they bring in? Like if you bring in one of the top candidates to be a GM, they're going to want to have their own guy. You're going to bring in a bottom feeder GM if they're like, yes, sir, we'll let you go with your coach because you're already paying him money. Like if you want a good GM, you got to fire your coach, pay him, and then bring in the GM's guy. If you want an below average GM or just somebody, I mean, I don't know. That's not set in stone either. I don't think they make it. I think they clean house.
Listen, there's a lot of things that you could say about Shad Khan. He has a phenomenal mustache. He is a pretty decent businessman. I mean, this is the team that was rumored to be moving to London for all those years. No one's heard about that in any of the recent few years. This was a team that was, I mean, people talked about destroying, like getting rid of teams, never mind expanding the league. Jacksonville was high on that list of teams to contract. You don't hear that anymore. It is a situation where the team's talent has underperformed. That defense should be much better than what it currently is. I have
said this numerous times. They have the worst defensive coordinator in the league. Todd Wash is terrible.
And so to me, there's going to be a coaching change there. And I said it before. Tom Coughlin got run out for the weird things that he was finding players for, and it's going to happen. There's no way they're keeping anyone in that front office. They just can't.
I hope those fines were totally awesome, though, weren't they? I mean, that was just fantastic. Some of those fines were brilliant, you know, absolutely great. I love that. Even though it's no place in professional sports, I guess nowadays, it still was great. I went for the Jags here, Jay, because I think they just want to finish off the season. It's a meaningless game. Nobody cares about this game, obviously, apart from Jacoby Brissett when this is his final game for Indianapolis. But the Jags will win this game. I think there's nothing on it. It means nothing. So Fournette will probably run for 200 yards.
Honest question. I'm all about the curse of James being a real thing. I love it. But does it coincide with T.Y. Hilton getting hurt? I mean, let's give Jacoby Brissett a chance. He's throwing passes to Zach Pascal. Like, if you get your number one wide receiver back out on the field, all of a sudden, shock and awe, you become a much better quarterback.
Speaking of shock and awe,
in a couple of weeks ago as well.
Speaking of shock and awe, the team with the most cap space going into next season is the Indianapolis Colts.
They've had the most cap space each of the past 3 years.
They don't spend a dime. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be big players. Not like Oakland beating Buffalo for all of the top prospects.
Oh, yeah?
Or Vegas.
Buffalo only go after one or two.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, back to this game. Names on the injury report, if they matter: Darius Leonard, Quentin Nelson, Quincy Wilson, Kenny Moore, Danico Autry for the Colts. For the Jaguars, this is a laundry list of Minshew, Chark, Fournette, Hayden, Campbell, Robinson, O'Leary, Boye, and both Allens, Dakota and Josh.
Showers predicted for Jacksonville, 77 the high, so it'll be
That's
coming.
Just the tears of their fans.
But I do believe that Jacksonville. I am a little concerned that Jacksonville may be calling it quits a little too soon, but at the same time, like Jacksonville is going to be cleaning house. They are over the cap into next season, just under $1 million, 972,000 over the cap. So it's not a huge deal, but I do think that not only are they cleaning house out of the front office, they'll be cleaning the roster. They're going to be one of the teams that's starting over next season.
Well, they have a couple
big
of
names in free agency then.
What was that, Neil?
They have a couple of first-round picks. They'll have their own pick in the first round. They'll have the Rams pick in the first round. Is that correct?
2 non-playoff teams.
Yeah, 2 non-playoff teams, so decent picks. Chances there for a new coach to get a couple of key players.
Maybe bring in Bruce Allen as GM?
Sounds good to me.
Right now, the Jaguars would be projected the 20th pick from the Rams, and their own pick is the 6th.
Yeah.
I did see that there were reports that they expected Khan's son, Tony Khan, to have a bigger role with the team starting next year. He's an analytics guy, weirdly enough.
That's right,
so that'll be kind of interesting to see whether that style of team building affects who their GM will futurely be and things like that. But he's got his hands tied up quite a bit anyway. Pod, as you know, he owns a wrestling company, so I would imagine he wouldn't have too much time to get into that stuff.
Yeah,
he owns what?
AEW.
He's the money behind that.
Yep. There's that con money going after the XFL guy.
The only difference is one of them has a professional football team, the other one doesn't.
I wonder what's Shaka Khan doing these days. I liked her. One of the most famous cats.
I was waiting. It was well timed out of you.
Thanks.
God.
All
Who's
right.
next?
The next game is the Arizona Cardinals, 5-9-1. They are at the Los Angeles Rams, who are 8-7. The Cardinals 21st in the power rankings. The Rams are 13th. By the way, how much does that say? The Rams are 8-7. That means a 500 record at 13th in the power rankings. I think that just shows how bad this league really is. It's not parity.
AFC is terrible.
Just poor. Rams are favored in this game by 7.5 points. Underreported story about the Arizona Cardinals, because obviously the spotlight has been on that quarterback and the rookie head coach. Chandler Jones tied his career high with 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles in Week 16, and has joined Carl Mecklenburg and Hall of Famer Reggie White as the only player since 1982 with 2 games of 4+ sacks in a single season. He leads the NFL with a career-high 19 sacks and is one of 5 players since 2000 with 2+ seasons of 17+ sacks. He only needs 4 in this particular game, only, I say, to break Mike Strahan's record. Could Jared Goff just sit down a couple of times in the backfield like Brett Favre?
Yeah, geez. This is one of those things. Yep. You guys might be too young to remember this, but one of the most disgraceful happenings in the NFL history was when Brett Favre, wasn't it, for Michael Strahan? He sat there and gave him the sack. I mean, this sort of
I'm
thing.
not that young, Neil.
If you want to see something that makes you absolutely sick, because that's a great record to have. The highest sack total in a year, and that needs to go away soon. So I hope he gets 5 sacks and destroys that record. It's an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace.
Now, James is the only one that has actually picked the Cardinals to win this particular game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because, I mean, the Rams are a shell of themselves. They'll be the first NFC team to win the conference title one year and fail to make the playoffs the next year in, 6-7 years.
Is Monty out?
They break the cycle.
Is Murray out, James?
Murray is questionable with a hamstring. Other Cardinals include Chandler Jones, Budda Baker, Charles Clay, and Darrell Daniels. Rams showing up on the injury report. Ramsey and Henderson are out. Michael Brockers, Eric Weddle, and Troy Hill show up on the injury report as questionable.
I just cannot shake this picture of Kyler Murray looking like a toddler wearing an adult's hat.
It is Brett Hundley show if Kyler Murray can't.
Brett Hundley played well last week in relief.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Held on to the W.
I'm surprised. James, you brought up the stat. Isn't there always they go into the Super Bowl